Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to explore why that first $100,000 feels so hard to make and why it's such a significant milestone. You see, many people struggle with this initial financial goal. It can feel like an insurmountable challenge, almost like climbing a steep mountain. Now you might be thinking, why $100,000? Why not $50,000 or $200,000? Well, it's more than just a random number. It's a psychological and financial benchmark that signifies a level of financial competence and stability. It's often seen as a major milestone in personal finance, a significant step on your journey to building real wealth and financial independence. This isn't about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about setting a solid foundation for your financial future. It's about laying a strong foundation, brick by brick, step by step. It's about proving to yourself that you can achieve financial stability and set yourself up for future success. Each small victory adds up. So, if you're feeling stuck, if you're wondering why it seems like everyone else is hitting that $100,000 mark but you, stick around. You're not alone in this journey. Because today, we're going deep, unpacking the reasons why that first 100 grand can feel like an uphill battle. And more importantly, how you can conquer it. Let's get started. Stay tuned and let's dive right in. Reaching that first $100,000 is a turning point for many. It's a significant milestone that marks the beginning of a new financial journey. It's that initial hurdle that, once cleared, opens up a world of possibilities. It's like climbing a steep mountain. Once you reach the top, the view is breathtaking. Think about it. With $100,000, you're no longer just scraping by, hoping to make ends meet. You have options. You can start thinking about investments, big purchases, or even a well-deserved vacation. You have a safety net. This cushion can protect you from unexpected expenses and give you peace of mind. You have the freedom to make choices that align with your goals. Whether it's planning a trip or discussing future financial plans with a partner, the possibilities are endless. It's a psychological milestone too. Reaching this point can change your mindset and how you view your financial capabilities. It instills a sense of confidence and accomplishment, knowing you've built something substantial. This confidence can propel you to achieve even greater financial goals. This, my friends, is about more than just money. It's about achieving a sense of financial well-being and security. It's about taking control of your financial future. With careful planning and smart decisions, you can shape the life you want. It's about building a life where you have choices and aren't limited by financial constraints. Imagine the freedom to make decisions based on your desires, not just your bank balance. But, and this is a big but, getting there takes work. It takes discipline. It requires consistent effort and a clear strategy. And most importantly, it takes understanding the game of money. Educating yourself on financial matters is crucial. So let's break it down, shall we? Let's explore the steps and strategies to reach this pivotal milestone and beyond. One of the biggest keys to building wealth is something called compounding. You've probably heard of it, but let me break it down in simple terms. Imagine you invest $1,000 and it earns a 10% return in a year. Now you have $1,100, right? That's great. But here's where the magic happens. The next year, you're not just earning 10% on your initial $1,000, you're earning 10% on the $1,100. So instead of making another $100, you make $110. See how that works? Your money is making money, and then that money is making even more money. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and bigger as it goes. Now here's the thing about compounding. It takes time. In the beginning it might feel like you're not making much progress at all. That $1,000 turning into $1,100, then $1,210 might not seem like much. But trust me, the longer you let your money compound, the more powerful it becomes. Think of it like planting a tree. It takes years for that little sapling to grow into a mighty oak. But with consistent care and time, the growth becomes exponential. The same principle applies to your investments. Section 3. The small sum struggle. Now you might be asking, why does that first $100,000 feel so much harder than the rest? Well, it all comes down to this. When you're starting out, you have a smaller sum of money to work with. That means the impact of compounding is less noticeable in the beginning. When you're only investing a few $100s a month, those early returns might feel insignificant. It's like trying to push a heavy boulder uphill. It takes a lot of effort to get it moving, but once it gains momentum, it becomes easier to push. Section 4. Time, your greatest asset. The good news is, time is on your side. The earlier you start investing, even if it's with small amounts, the more time your money has to compound and grow exponentially. Remember, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is about building sustainable wealth over the long term, and the sooner you start, the more time you have to benefit from the magic of compounding. Now I know what you might be thinking. Easier said than done, right? Life gets in the way, bills pile up, and saving can feel impossible. And you're right. There are real challenges that make that first $100,000 feel so far out of reach. Section 1. The income gap. Let's be real, guys. Most of us aren't starting out with six-figure salaries. Entry-level jobs, especially in today's economy, often come with modest paychecks. When you're barely making enough to cover rent, food, and those pesky student loan payments, saving can feel like a distant dream. It's like trying to outrun a cheetah on a unicycle. Not easy. And even if you're fortunate enough to have a decent income, unexpected expenses always seem to pop up, right? Car repairs, medical bills, that surprise weekend trip your friends convinced you to take. Life happens, and it often throws a wrench in our perfectly crafted budgets. But hey, I get it. We've all been there. And then there's the cost of living. Rent, especially in major cities, can eat up a huge chunk of your income. And let's not forget about transportation, groceries, utilities. It all adds up. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with a leaky faucet. You keep pouring money in, but it never seems to quite fill up. And here's the thing, even if you're super disciplined with your spending, even if you're clipping coupons and eating ramen noodles for dinner every night, it's still tough to get ahead when the cost of living is constantly on the rise. It's a constant battle, and it's easy to feel discouraged, especially when you see others around you seemingly living the good life. But don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Now let's talk about debt, specifically the big D student loans. For many of us, graduating college means entering the real world with a mountain of debt hanging over our heads. Those monthly payments, they can feel like a major roadblock on the road to financial freedom. It's like trying to drive with the parking brake on. And it's not just student loans, right? Credit card debt, car loans, personal loans, it all adds up, and it can feel overwhelming. The interest rates alone can make it feel like you're running on a treadmill, working hard but going nowhere. It's easy to feel trapped, like you're stuck in a financial hole that you'll never dig yourself out of. But here's a harsh truth. Sometimes the biggest obstacle to building wealth isn't external, it's internal. It's the lack of financial literacy. Look, our education system often does a pretty poor job of teaching us about personal finance. We're thrown into the real world without a clue about budgeting, investing, or even basic money management. It's like being given a car without ever being taught how to drive. It's no wonder so many people feel lost and make costly financial mistakes. And here's the thing. Financial literacy isn't just about knowing the difference between a stock and a bond. It's about understanding how money works, how to make it work for you, and how to avoid common financial pitfalls. Okay, we've talked about income, expenses, debt, the tangible stuff, but there's another layer to this whole money thing that's often overlooked: our mindset, our psychology. See, it's not always about not having enough money. Sometimes it's about our relationship with money, the way we think about it, the way we spend it. We live in a world of instant gratification. Want something? Order it online, have it delivered to your doorstep tomorrow. That's awesome for convenience, but it can wreak havoc on our ability to delay gratification, to save for the future. It's easy to get caught up in the "I deserve this" mentality. And hey, you do deserve to enjoy life. But there's a fine line between treating yourself and constantly giving in to impulse purchases. This is where that mental shift comes in. Saving, investing, it's all about delaying gratification. It's about choosing to invest in your future self instead of indulging in the immediate pleasure of buying something new. Think about it this way. Would you rather have a fancy coffee every day for the next year, or would you rather invest that money and watch it grow into something much bigger down the line? It's a trade-off. And let's be honest, it's not always easy. Our brains are wired to seek immediate rewards, but trust me, the feeling of financial security, the freedom that comes with knowing you're set for the future, that's a reward worth waiting for. Now let's talk about another big psychological hurdle: fear, specifically the fear of investing. A lot of people avoid investing because they're afraid of losing money. They hear horror stories about stock market crashes, recessions, and it freaks them out. And listen, I get it, investing does come with risks. But here's the thing, not investing is risky too. In fact, you're guaranteed to lose money in the long run if you keep all your savings in a traditional savings account. Why? Because of inflation. The value of money decreases over time, meaning your savings will buy you less in the future. Investing, on the other hand, gives your money the potential to grow at a rate that outpaces inflation. Section 4. Conquering the mental hurdles. So how do we overcome these mental hurdles? How do we shift our mindset from instant gratification to delayed reward, from fear to confidence? It starts with education. The more you understand about personal finance, investing, and how money works, the less intimidating it becomes. Read books, listen to podcasts, take online courses. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances. And remember, investing doesn't have to be scary. You don't need to be a Wall Street whiz to be a successful investor. Start small, diversify your investments, and don't be afraid to ask for help from a financial advisor if you need it. Section 1. The power of small beginnings. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but where do I even start? How can I possibly save $100,000 when I can barely afford to pay my bills? And trust me, I hear you. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer size of that number. But here's the thing. You don't need to have a ton of money to start investing. You don't need to be making six figures. You just need to start. Even small, consistent contributions can add up over time thanks to the magic of compounding. Remember that snowball effect we talked about earlier? It all starts with that first little snowball. Section 2. Consistency is key. Let's say you invest just $50 a week. That's less than the cost of eating out a couple of times. Now, $50 a week might not seem like much, but over a year that adds up to $2,600. And if you invest that $2,600 every year for, let's say, 10 years and earn an average annual return of 7%, you know what? You'd have over $35,000. That's the power of consistency. It's not about making huge, flashy investments. It's about consistently putting money aside, even small amounts, and letting it grow over time. Remember that tree analogy? Consistent watering and care, even in small amounts, are what allow that tree to flourish over time. Now, I know it can be tough to stay motivated when you don't see results right away. That's why I'm a big fan of visualizing your progress. Create a chart, use a financial tracking app, or just jot down your savings milestones in a notebook. Seeing those numbers grow, even if it's just a little bit each month, can give you a sense of accomplishment and keep you going. It's like watching that tree grow taller and stronger year after year. You might not notice the difference from one day to the next, but over time, the progress is undeniable. And trust me, there's nothing more motivating than seeing your hard work pay off. It's like a financial high five to your future self. Look, reaching that first $100,000 is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. There will be setbacks, there will be unexpected expenses, and there will be times when you want to give up. But here's the thing. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about taking it one step at a time, one financial decision at a time. So celebrate those small victories. Acknowledge your progress, and don't beat yourself up over the occasional setback. Remember, you're playing the long game here. And in the long run, consistency and perseverance are what truly matter. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the power of compounding, the challenges of limited income and high living costs, the importance of financial literacy, and the psychological hurdles that often hold us back from reaching our financial goals. It might seem like a lot to process, but the key takeaway here is this: building wealth, reaching that $100,000 milestone, it's not about luck. It's not about hitting the lottery or inheriting a fortune from a long-lost relative. It's about taking control of your financial future. It's about making conscious, informed decisions about your money consistently over time. And the beautiful thing is, it's never too late to start. Whether you're just starting out in your career, saddled with student loan debt, or feeling stuck in a financial rut, you have the power to change your financial trajectory. Now let's get practical. I know you're probably wondering, okay, but how do I actually make this happen? How do I accelerate my savings and get to that $100,000 mark faster? Well, here are a few key strategies. First, focus on increasing your income. Now, I'm not saying you need to quit your day job and become an entrepreneur overnight, but explore your options. Can you take on a side hustle, negotiate a raise or promotion at work, develop new skills that make you more marketable? Remember, the more money you bring in, the more you have available to save and invest. It's like adding more fuel to that fire, accelerating your progress. Second, automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings and investment accounts each month. Think of it like paying yourself first. By automating the process, you remove the temptation to spend that money elsewhere and make saving a non-negotiable part of your budget. Third, keep lifestyle inflation in check. It's tempting as your income grows to upgrade your lifestyle accordingly, but resist the urge to splurge on every new gadget or trend. Remember, the goal here is to build lasting wealth, not to impress your neighbors with the latest and greatest toys. Stay focused on your long-term goals and don't let lifestyle creep derail your progress. Look, achieving that first $100,000 is a significant accomplishment. It's a milestone that many dream of but few achieve. It's a testament to your discipline, your patience, and your commitment to building a better financial future for yourself. Every dollar saved, every investment made, and every financial decision taken has led you to this point. But it's not the finish line, it's just the beginning. This is where the real journey starts, where you can leverage your success to achieve even more. Think of it as a launch pad, propelling you towards even greater financial freedom and security. The habits you build, the knowledge you gain, and the strategies you develop now will be crucial. And the mindset shift you make on your journey to that first $100,000 will serve you well for years to come. So keep learning, keep growing, and stay curious about new financial opportunities, and keep pushing towards your financial goals. Set new targets, challenge yourself, and never settle for less than what you deserve. The path to financial freedom might not always be easy, and there will be obstacles along the way, but trust me, it's a journey worth taking. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your ultimate financial independence. And remember, I'm here to support you every step of the way. Whether you need advice, encouragement, or just a reminder of how far you've come, now go out there, crush those financial goals, and celebrate every victory, no matter how big or small. And make that first $100,000 yours. Your financial freedom is within reach, and it all starts with this first milestone.